Hello everyone and welcome. Welcome to our video on astrology chart of Princess Diana's royal love triangle. Was it in the stars? I'm Pastor Rosemary, the Astrology Angel. What I'm going to do in this presentation is we're going to take a look at the basics, especially the 7 ancient planets and their placements and their astrological aspects to each other. We're going to take the placements of the astrology of the charts of Princess Diana of Wales, also Duchess Camilla of Cornwall, and also, of course, Prince Charles of Wales. The reason I'm doing this is because as I watched some programs about their relationships recently, and I was curious to see what their astrology might hold for each different person and what the astrology might say about the way they all related to each other and still do relate to each other in the case of Prince Charles and Duchess Camilla. So what I did was I took a look at their charts, and in just a very first glance I saw exactly pretty much what was going on and why things have unfolded in the way that they have for these 3 individuals and for this love triangle that occurred, and for how it might progress in the future as far as the couple of Prince Charles and Duchess Camilla, and how Princess Diana, how she affected the situation, and just those kinds of things. And I think you'll be pleasantly interested and surprised at how the astrology really does show that really there was nothing else that could have occurred. I mean, really, it's very hard to get away from one's astrology. It's very difficult to be able to, not behave or have things occur with relationships in an interaction that's very much like a chemical reaction. When you take, if you take baking soda and vinegar and you put them together, you're going to get a reaction in a certain way, and it's always predictable. And the same thing with astrology. So it also helps us to understand that people, rather than blaming people for this or that, actually to see that it was a sort of a chemical formula, if you will, a spiritual chemical formula that really was going to turn out that way no matter what. And I think you'll be pleasantly surprised at there's a beauty in these 3 charts and the way they interact together, a real beauty, and some things that show why they continue to pique our interest, and why I was so interested to watch the television show in the first place about the relationship between Prince Charles and Princess Diana, and how Duchess Camilla, how she factored into that from knowing him from before and being his wife now. It really it's very interesting again, and again there's a real beauty in these 3 charts and how they interact together. The aspects, how they line up with one another. So I'm going to start with Princess Diana's chart, Princess of Wales, and then I'll share with you Duchess Camilla of Cornwall's chart, and then I'll share Prince Charles of Wales' chart. Okay, so again, the name first, Princess Diana of Wales. She was born on July 1st of 1961 at 7:45 p.m. in Sandringham, England, in the UK. Now, our overview for her chart is that Princess Diana's chart indicates the sentimentality, sensitivity, indecisiveness, and touchiness of a Cancer the Crab individual, also known as Cancerians, as well as a love of home and family. Very important for a person who's a Cancerian. Love of home and family. It's very important. Okay. Now, her moon in Aquarius, Princess Diana, causes her to be unpredictable in larger worldly issues. So in very immense issues and intense issues that are of worldly consequence, it causes her unpredictability that she had, and it caused her to have feelings of a need for great independence. Princess Diana's chart, her moon in Aquarius caused her also to need to be independent and sovereign, and autonomous in her own right. She needed to be an individual. That was sort of it's how it balanced out her need for home and family, being Sun in Cancer. So Sun in Cancer, Moon in Aquarius, a very strong love and need for home and family. At the same time, simultaneously, a very strong need for independence and humanitarian issues. Aquarius, Moon in Aquarius, Sun in Cancer, Moon in Aquarius. Now, Princess Diana's chart shows a conjunction, also some trines, squares, and oppositions, adding both to her good fortune and to her difficulties. So we're going to see that the number of trines and the number of oppositions and squares and that kind of thing, and conjunction is going to, in each chart, is going to really show how one person might have an easier time and one person might have a more difficult time. And as you see, how could any of us, when you look at our astrology charts, behave any differently than we do, right? All right. Now, if we're going to first go into we're going to talk about the 7 ancient planets: the Sun, Moon, Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn. We're going to add also the Ascendant, and we're going to also talk about the conjunctions and the trines, squares, oppositions, those kinds of things. All right, so Princess Diana, Princess of Wales, her Sun in Cancer, 9 degrees 39 minutes. This causes a feeling person, with sensibilities of being someone who can really feel what other people feel. Indeed, the divine tone of Cancer the Crab is I feel, okay? And Cancerians with their Sun in Cancer are sensitive, loves hearth, home, and family, temperamental and unpredictable, often puzzling to other people, okay? Moon in Aquarius, Princess Diana's Moon in Aquarius, 25 degrees at 2 minutes. Aquarius, Moon in Aquarius, liberal notions, so liberal, tolerant notions about life. So not going to be a stickler, going to be more open-minded, more liberal-minded about life in general, okay, with this Moon in Aquarius. Also, unexpected ways of doing things. So she's not someone who would have done things in a predictable way. Unexpected and unpredictable ways of doing things. Unexpected. Catches you off guard. Okay? Moon in Aquarius. Emotionally autonomous. Emotionally sovereign. Emotionally independent. Not cold, but independent. Moon in Aquarius. With that Sun in Cancer, again, a real balance between these two. Princess Diana of Wales, her personality and how her personality reacted with Prince Charles, and also with the relationship of Prince Charles and Duchess Camilla, can really see there, and with her children, how this would play out. Especially when I get to the other charts, you're going to really see this. Okay, now, also Princess Diana had a Mercury retrograde in Cancer at 3 degrees 12 minutes. These people are able to understand deep meanings during communication. So someone who's able to have very deep, profound talks and conversations on a very deep level with people. Like in the program I watched, they had some of her interviews where she was very poignant, very profound, is very deep, and you could feel what she was feeling. And people might want to say, oh, that's got to be a little bit put on. Well, you know, someone with their Sun in Cancer and their Mercury in Cancer, when they communicate those feelings, the divine tone of I feel is really going to come out. Okay, so that was real. Okay, in those programs that I watched, I think there were 6 of them. There was about, I think it was just called Diana. It was very interesting, and that's what made me look these things up. Okay, so also Mercury retrograde in Cancer when she was born, her natal chart for Princess Diana. Beware, retrograde often causes what? Astrologers know, miscommunication. They say don't sign contracts when Mercury is retrograde. Princess Diana was born in a Mercury retrograde in Cancer. So therefore she's a Cancerian with her communication skills very deep, very profound when she communicates, but perhaps some miscommunication, maybe some things that came across weren't exactly what she meant. So maybe, you know, some of the miscommunications that could have happened between herself and possibly her in-laws or her husband, Prince Charles, or you know, or her, of course, the royals, that could have been caused by this Mercury retrograde in Cancer, where she can speak very profoundly, but miscommunicate at the same time. And that Moon Aquarius, unpredictability, unexpected behavior, okay, and that need for autonomous emotions, okay, well, autonomous emotionally. Okay, now, Princess Diana also has Venus in Taurus at 24 degrees 23 minutes. A Venus in Taurus, love of creature comforts. Now, Venus is the, well, Venus rules Taurus at nighttime. Okay, so Venus is the nighttime ruler of Taurus the bull. So there's a rulership there. And again, a great love of creature comfort. So it works out for her lifestyle of being one of, when she was, before she was married, of course, being very well off and well to do, very high society, aristocratic family, and then to marry into, you know, a royal family, of course, Venus and Taurus, that, you know, since Venus rules Taurus, it just makes sense that creature comforts, not only would she love them, but would easily have them. Makes sense. Again, it makes sense. Princess Diana also has Mars in Virgo at 1 degree, 38 minutes. Flights, well, she's going to be someone that has to battle with daily routines such as her bulimia. This is where the bulimia came into play, okay? They said that she had a you know, bout where she got very thin and before her wedding, and was having at other times, and maybe at that time, some bulimia, and that would coincide with a Mars in Virgo. Mars in Virgo, Mars, planet of war, very competitive, very hard on the self, and, you know, finding fault in oneself and possibly in others as well. And in Virgo's a perfectionist, okay? So Mars in Virgo gives a person a battle or a fight or a conflict with daily routines such as bulimia. So she's going to be very stern with herself. No matter what I have to do, I'm going to be thin. No matter what I have to do, you know, I'm going to make sure, you know, that my daily routines are military strict. My daily routines, my habits, and my service to others, militarily strict. Mars in Virgo. Fights with daily routines such as her bulimia. Very important. So why did she do that? Not saying all Mars in Virgo people are bulimic, but this makes sense. Again. Now, Jupiter retrograde in Aquarius at 5 degrees and 5 minutes for Princess Diana. The Jupiter retrograde in Aquarius, everyone's buddy, everyone's friend, everyone's pal. Okay, that makes sense. She was very friendly, and that wasn't put on, that was real. Okay, Jupiter retrograde in Aquarius, everyone's buddy, everyone's pal, great humanitarian. With the Moon in Aquarius and Jupiter in Aquarius, you've got someone who's going to be a wonderful philanthropist and humanitarian and a pioneer. They say that in that program they mentioned that Princess Diana was a very much a pioneer about being a celebrity royal activist. She was a pioneer in doing that. And she was a great humanitarian. She was concerned about people with AIDS and about landmines. And she was, of course, loved by people all over the world, and of course still is loved by people all over the world. And she holds a place in our heart. And she was a great humanitarian, and she made a difference. Okay, so that's the Jupiter retrograde in Aquarius. Also, Princess Diana has Saturn retrograde in Capricorn at 27 degrees and 48 minutes. So Saturn retrograde in Capricorn, extreme self-discipline and authority over others. So this gives her an ability to be in control when she's around other people, with her being, no matter what it seems like, this gives her the Saturn retrograde in Capricorn. She has control of herself. She has extreme. There's that bulimia thing again. Extreme self-discipline. Okay, she was always, perfect looking and always perfect. She did things with the things that were important to her. She did perfectly, that were important to her. Maybe not the way someone else thought would be perfect, but for her, she was able to have extreme self-discipline. Again, the bulimia with the Mars and Virgo, understandable, and authority over others. She always seemed to be able to get things she wanted from other people. That's why. Saturn retrograde in Capricorn. Okay? So Mars in Virgo, Saturn retrograde in Capricorn. You can see how this shapes up, okay? And notice there's Mercury retrograde, Jupiter retrograde, Saturn retrograde. So this just, it's also throws things off just a bit, especially the Mercury retrograde. Now, the ascendant in Sagittarius, ascendant in Sagittarius at 18 degrees, 24 minutes. The ascendant in Sagittarius gives you a charitable person. Again, there's the philanthropy and the charity, and also enthusiastic. Always able to be smiling, always able to go, always able to show up. Enthusiastic, idealistic. That idealism sort of maybe flights of fancy about how things could be, idealistic, and ethereal. An ethereal quality that makes a person sort of have a quality where they are very taken by things that are otherworldly, and with a quality that is really going to stay with you and be more about starlight and stardust than it is about the earthly things. But that Venus in Taurus brings her right down to earth. But yet her mind is able to have an ethereal quality. So those are all of the kind of aspects that she had, the kind of placements that she had. Now I'm going to go over real quick Princess Diana's aspects here, and then later on when we get to Prince Charles's chart, we're going to see how Duchess Camilla's aspects and Princess Diana's aspects, how those really interact and react and respond with Prince Charles's chart, which is why I put him last. That wasn't anything. It was just I put him there because his first wife, and then his very good friend and second wife, and then how those react with him. That's why I wanted to talk about him last, because then I was able to take those and show how, as a man, as a husband, how that affected him, and why he made choices he made. That the choices he made, those kinds of things. Okay, when you look at his, it all makes sense. It's very beautiful when you look at all the relationships. Now, the Princess Diana had a Sun conjunct Mercury, the Moon trine Mercury, Moon square Venus, Moon opposing Mars, Mercury conjunct Sun, Mercury trine Moon, Mercury sextile Mars, Venus square Moon, Venus trine Saturn, Mars opposing Moon, Mars sextile Mercury, and Saturn trine Venus. So we're going to stop there with that Princess Diana's chart for now. This is not a comprehensive look at each chart. This is a fairly good view of each chart, and then how do they interact, because what struck me immediately was just a placement of their sun signs, their moon signs. That's all I really needed to see, and I pretty much knew right away what was going on. And then so I went a little further into the 7 ancient planets and their ascendant, and those how they the planetary aspects, how they interact. And of course, if we went into the houses, and if in future dates we'll look at those things. But for now, you're gonna agree that it's gonna make a lot of sense when you see how these charts really interact. Now we're going to go ahead and take a look at the astrology chart for Camilla Parker Bowles, Duchess of Cornwall. And Camilla Parker Bowles was born July 17th, 1947 at 7:10 a.m. London, England, United Kingdom. Now, for the overview, Duchess Camilla's chart indicates a sentimentality. sensitivity, unpredictability, and moodiness of Cancer the crab, as well as a love of home and family. Her moon in Cancer grants her extremely deep feelings and an amazing amount of instinct and extrasensory perception because Luna rules the sign of Cancer. Duchess Camilla has an astrological stellium in the sign of Cancer. Let me say that again. Duchess Camilla has an astrological stellium, okay, in the sign of Cancer, bestowing her a vast amount of love of natural fourth house attributes of hearth, home, and family. Duchess Camilla's chart shows a significant number of conjunctions and trines, with some sextiles, affording her excellent luck and destiny, along with compatibility. So you understand, you already see some difference in the charts here. You see that Duchess Camilla has a stellium in Cancer, including her sun and moon. Okay? So this is going to make her so much about motherhood and home and family that, you know, she's such a mother to the world kind of a thing, you know, and to anybody, that because she has so much of these feeling, that the divine tone of I feel is just accentuated with Duchess Camilla. So this you know, because of the stellium, and she doesn't have all those difficulties of oppositions and trine. You know, she has a lot of trines, but she doesn't have the squares. Excuse me, she doesn't have the squares and the oppositions that Princess Diana has. Duchess Camilla has more trines in her. We're talking about the 7 ancient planets. She has more trines, okay, and sextiles and conjunctions that make her have an easier life with more luck and more compatibility. So right away you can see how this is a more gentle chart with a lot of love in it. So right away you see the difference in the way their lives unfold, in the way they were personally and with other people, and in the way they react with Prince Charles. You can see it right away. When you just look at these first few things, you can see it right away. And it's very beautiful when you really look at it. That they each they're each fulfilling their destiny. Because the destinies aren't done unfolding. Even Princess Diana is not yet done unfolding, because the spirit is still very much with us. Now, Sun in Cancer for Duchess Camilla. Duchess Camilla has her Sun in Cancer at 23 degrees, 47 minutes, and we have a feeling person, sensitive, loves hearth, home, and family, temperamental, and unpredictable, often puzzling to others again. Now, the Moon in Cancer for Duchess Camilla at 10 degrees, 2 minutes, a sensitive and intuitive psychic person, compelled to care for family and friends, a natural maternal instinct. Moon in Cancer. Cancer is ruled by the moon. You have a rulership there. Makes perfect sense. Now we're going to go you one further. Here we go. Mercury retrograding Cancer for Duchess Camilla, just like Princess Diana. And Sun in Cancer and the Mercury retrograding Cancer, just like Princess Diana. They're exactly the same. They are twins when it comes to their Sun and their Mercury. They're both even Mercury retrograde. Okay? So you can see right away why these two women are in Prince Charles's life. You can see it when you're an astrologer. You can see it right away. Okay? And Duchess Camilla has her Moon in Cancer and a rulership in the emotional arena. Okay? And it adds to her psychic ability. Okay? They're already both psychic, but this really adds to Duchess Camilla's psychic ability. And we're seeing that Duchess Camilla is much more of a family person and much less of an individualist right away than Princess Diana. So you can see that right away, okay, when you look at their chart. Okay, so again, Duchess Camilla, Mercury retrograding Cancer at 19 degrees, 55 minutes, able to understand deep meanings during communication. Beware, retrograde often causes miscommunication. So we have the same thing going on in that aspect as we do with Princess Diana. Now we have Duchess Camilla's Venus in Cancer. Her Venus is in Cancer. Remember, she has a stellium in Cancer. Duchess Camilla, a stellium in the sign of Cancer, the crab. We have Venus in Cancer at 10 degrees, 34 minutes. Amazingly good at being a wife and caring for others. Venus in Cancer, amazingly good at being a wife and caring for others. Duchess Camilla. Mars in Gemini, 11 degrees, 16 minutes. Excel at public dialogue. So good with the public and public dialogue. Sending and receiving messages, very good at that. And love appealing chit-chat. She loves to have those great chit-chat talks. And loves appealing chit-chat talks. She likes having a good time and talking to her friends, okay? And she loves sending and receiving messages. Excels at public dialogue. Mars in Gemini for Duchess Camilla. Also, Duchess Camilla, Jupiter in Scorpio at 17 degrees, 41 minutes. Know how to utilize innate psychic aptitude to thrive in both business and romance. And heads up, Prince Charles has a Scorpio, Sun and Mercury. So here we have a connection to Prince Charles and a way to use that enormous psychic ability. So Duchess Camilla has an enormous psychic ability, and she also has a Jupiter in Scorpio that not only makes her know how to utilize her innate psychic ability, but it also gives her an amazing aptitude to thrive in business and to thrive in romance with Prince Charles. And Prince Charles has his Sun and Mercury in Scorpio. So here you see some of these connections, how it pans out. Again, in the beginning, was it in the stars? Obviously, it was in the stars. Couldn't have gone any other way. Now, Saturn and Leo at 9 degrees, 56 minutes. Again, Duchess Camilla, her Saturn in Leo. Strong. Now, more cautious than when other planets inhabit the sign of the lion. So other Leos might be a little bit more happy-go-lucky. A Saturn in Leo at 9 degrees, 56 minutes, which with Duchess Camilla, which she has, they're more cautious than when other planets inhabit the sign of Leo. And they're funny, warm-hearted people. So good at cheering people up, compassionate, warm-hearted, funny, witty. This is going to be really helpful if someone else needs to be cheered up. And Duchess Camilla has Ascendant in Leo at 4 degrees, 55 minutes. Ascendant in Leo, also another strong sign. Desire to be the greatest at whatever they set their mind to accomplish. Confident and cheerful, skillful and proficient people with a great outlook on life. Duchess Camilla and Prince Charles both have a Leo ascendant. Again, Duchess Camilla and Prince Charles both have a Leo ascendant. Confident, cheerful, skillful, proficient, great outlook on life, and when they set their mind on something, they accomplish it, and also they desire to be the greatest, and they can accomplish it because the Ascendant in Leo allows them to do just that. So this is a great chart, and here another reason why it's obvious that she'd get along so well with Prince Charles and would be very much a boon to him in his present status and with all the things going on that in his life. Now, Duchess Camilla has, for her planetary aspects, has Sun conjunct Mercury, Sun trine Jupiter, Moon conjunct Venus, Moon trine Jupiter, Mercury conjunct the Sun, Mercury trine Jupiter, Venus conjunct Moon, Venus trine Jupiter, Mars sextile Saturn, Jupiter trine Sun, Jupiter trine Moon, Jupiter trine Mercury, Jupiter trine Venus, Saturn sextile Mars. Again, for the Duchess Camilla Parker Bowles of Cornwall, a lot of trines. You heard me say trine, trine, trine a lot. Those are so lucky. So you've got someone that's life is going to be more easy. Okay, so right away you see again that the reason Princess Diana had more difficulties is because of the oppositions and the squares. She had some trines and conjunction as well, but she had those oppositions and the squares to deal with. So those are going to make more difficulties. And whereas Duchess Camilla has all these trines and sextile and conjunctions, that's going to be so much easier for her. You know, it's going to be an easier chart for her to deal with. So before we judge people too harshly, let's look at their charts before we judge them too harshly. And it also, but everybody, that doesn't mean that someone with oppositions and squares in their charts don't have something to offer the world. They do. Look at all the good Princess Diana has done for our world, and for, you know, people with AIDS, and people, you know, that were having problems in countries where there were mines that needed to be, you know, that those needed to be cleared out so people weren't being injured by them. Of course, someone with struggles in their life can have empathy for others in a way that someone that has had a pretty easy life might not be able to get to. So, you know, early in life, maybe towards when they're getting older, they might be able to be more empathetic. But so you see, it's not always just, you know, that this is bad or this is good. Everything is always as it should be in the divine plan of the universe, and the universe is always unfolding just as it should. And if we look at all the things considered, you can find out and see how things actually are being made better by all of these charts. And we don't have to say that one's better than the other. It's just an obvious, I think there's a beauty in the way they all these three charts interacted with each other. A real beauty. Now, we're going to now get to the astrology chart of Prince Charles of Wales. And again, I put him last because I wanted to have how these two very important women in his life, how he reacts with those things, since he's such an important person and has so many responsibilities. I wanted to show, and now that I've shown you how the other charts of these two women are, then I can really show you how him being a husband, how reacted and reacts and continues to react. Because again, just because someone has gone into another incarnation, that you know, and gone out of one incarnation into another, that doesn't mean that they don't still have an influence spiritually on people. Because again, all of us continue to have spiritual influence on each other, no matter what incarnation we currently inhabit. All right, now. So again, Prince Charles of Wales, born November 14th, 1948, at 9:14 p.m. London, England, United Kingdom. The overview for Prince Charles, we have Prince Charles's chart indicates that he has an affinity for Cancerians, for people born under the sign of Cancer the Crab. Again, let me say that again. Prince Charles's chart indicates that he has an affinity for Cancerians, such as both his current wife, Duchess Camilla, and his former wife, Princess Diana, possess in their charts. Prince Charles' chart displays a goodly amount of trines, granting him admirable providence and a superior fate. He has a couple of oppositions and a square, greatly calmed by the high number of trines in his chart. Now, Prince Charles, we're going to go over the 7 ancient planets and his ascendant, and then we'll also show you his planetary factors, also an aspect as well. So, Prince Charles, Prince of Wales, he has his sun in Scorpio at 22 degrees, 25 minutes, gives you a commanding individual. So they're commanding individuals, delight in taking a dare. They like to take on a dare. So if you dare them, they'll do it. They're strongly instinctive, they're shrewd, and they're trustworthy. And he also has, and I just threw this in because I didn't do houses yet, but I threw this in because I couldn't help it because it was so important. This is Sun in Scorpio in the 4th house for Prince Charles. His Sun is in Scorpio in his 4th house. And that's the reason he likes Cancer the Crab women, or Cancerian women. That's the reason he likes Cancerian women, because Cancer is the same as the natural 4th house of hearth, home, and family. Because in a natural chart, where Aries is the 1st house, Cancer the Crab is the 4th house. So a 4th house is going to have an affinity for people or aspects in their own chart in Cancer, okay? So this is the reason he likes Cancerian women. His sun in Scorpio in the 4th house. This is the reason right here. Why these women? Right there. Okay? And you can understand how Duchess Camilla with a stellium in Cancer and her moon in Cancer too, and all those other planets, you understand that how much it's going to be easy for them to relate to each other, and how, because of this 4th house sun in Scorpio. Okay? Now, Prince Charles has his moon in Taurus at 0 degrees 25 minutes. So just just barely in the sign of Taurus there, but in there. Okay, moon in Taurus. Luna exalts in the sign of the bull. Okay? Loves to experience pleasant relationships, full of understanding, boldly enjoys worldly delights. So you can see how he can really relate in his younger years to a woman like Princess Diana that has her sun and her Mercury in retrograde in Cancer, and how those feelings, come out and have all the pleasant relationship. Also, boldly enjoys worldly delights, and Princess Diana has that worldly ability to command the world from, on a worldly stage. She has that command and that autonomy, that emotional autonomy that allows her to really sort of, when you're in your younger years, really makes sense to boldly enjoy worldly delights with someone who's able to really have a moon in Aquarius and can help you do that. And her Venus in Taurus goes with the moon in Taurus. So in the younger years you can really see that. Okay, that makes sense. And then as time goes by, of course, they love to experience pleasant relationships, full of understanding, someone with a stellium in Cancer, to be a best friend, to talk to, and to be with as your second wife. You can really see how Camilla, Duchess Camilla Parker Bowles, how her stellium in Cancer with Sun and Moon and Mercury and Venus and all this and all the other, you can really see how that's going to really be where, when he needs to experience a pleasant relationship full of understanding, how that's going to really fit the bill. And why those two women were there at one point, at least as a friend with Duchess Camilla, at that time, was really important. You can see how that's going to happen. Since he knew her from before, you can see exactly how that's going to happen. How could it not happen? It's in the stars. All right, now, Prince Charles, Mercury in Scorpio and Sun in Scorpio at 6 degrees 57 minutes. Frankly straightforward and sincere. When conversing or corresponding with others, possesses an extremely sophisticated psychological acumen, rely on instinct. 4th house, reason again he likes Cancer women or Cancerian women. So, his Mercury in Scorpio in the 4th house also. Prince Charles, Mercury in Scorpio in the 4th house, also the reason he likes Cancerian women. Princess Diana and Duchess Camilla, with Duchess Camilla having a stellium in Cancer, Sun, Moon, and all the those other planets we mentioned. So you can see how could he help but really like her. Not only love but like. So he loved both of these women, but also like, and friendships. It all comes into play. 4th house. Okay. Now Venus in Libra for Prince Charles at 16 degrees 23 minutes. And Venus rules Libra in the day. Okay, Venus rules Libra in the day. So Prince Charles, Venus in Libra, we at 16 degrees 23 minutes, objective, unbiased, communal, revels in the arts, loves nature's splendors and wonders, great at interpersonal interactions, adores relaxation, vacationing, economics, and life's enjoyments. 4th house, Venus in Libra in the 4th house. Again, reason he likes women that are Cancer, the crab women that are Cancerians. Camilla has Venus in Cancer. This is his Venus in Libra, which is very good in marriage. Venus in Libra, Prince Charles. Camilla has Venus in Cancer, which is very good in marriage. Prince Charles's Venus in Libra is in the 4th house. Reason he likes Cancerian women. like Princess Diana and Duchess Camilla. Again, it just makes so much sense. I was so excited, and still am, obviously, when I saw this chart. After I watched that TV show called Diana, I watched the TV show and I was so interested. After I saw the relationships, I ran right away and looked it up. After I saw all 6 episodes, I ran right away and I looked it up, and I was so excited. So I wrote it all down and I looked it all up and I drew out the charts, and I'm so excited to share it with you. Okay, so Prince Charles, Mars in Sagittarius, very strong, 20 degrees, 56 minutes. Princess Diana has a Sagittarius ascendant, which brings a sign that loves travel and independence. Prince Charles's Mars in Sagittarius creates competitiveness for personal sovereignty. So you see, that's how you're going to have the Sagittarius ascendant for Princess Diana, that loves her independence and travel, and then Prince Charles's Mars in Sagittarius that creates competitiveness for personal sovereignty. You see how they both might have had their sort of, well, I want it my way, and I want it my way, and I want it my way. So you see how that can happen with these very strong signs and planets in signs when they begin to interact with each other. Also, Prince Charles has Jupiter in Sagittarius. Let's see, Jupiter in Sagittarius. Yeah, so you see, we have not only the Mars in Sagittarius, but also Prince Charles has his Jupiter in Sagittarius at 29 degrees, 53 minutes. Princess Diana has her Sagittarius ascendant, and that loves exciting escapades. So Princess Diana loves exciting escapades, okay? Passionate, dynamic, good-natured, and charitable. Okay, now Prince Charles's Jupiter in Sagittarius bestows generosity to the situation. So the things that Princess Diana loved to do, the exciting escapades, and the dynamic, good-natured, charitable person who wants to give, and loves the exciting escapades, he's generous, and at least he has, he's obviously has, some ability to give her a kind of lifestyle where these things can be fulfilled. Because, of course, being charitable, and the Princess Diana's charities were very important to her and the royal family and to Prince Charles. So, of course, it all just fits like a glove. That's a hand fitting in a glove. The Jupiter in Sagittarius for Prince Charles, and that Sagittarius ascendant for Princess Diana. That's a hand fitting in a glove. Now, Saturn in Virgo at 5 degrees for Prince Charles, 16 minutes. An amazing purist, okay? A purist, methodical, meticulous, okay? Systematic, thorough, great coordinators, and great managers. Saturn in Virgo makes perfect sense. Virgo with the daily disciplines, Saturn all about discipline. It all makes sense, all right? So Prince Charles is a person who is very much a purist. And he's also someone who's methodical, meticulous, systematic, thorough, and good coordinators, good managers, so he's very good at managing people. Now, Duchess Camilla might not mind being managed, not that she needs it, but might not mind it as much as Princess Diana would mind it, being someone who has all that emotional sovereignty need in Moon and Aquarius. So you see how that plays out right there. How could it turn out any other way? Must have been in the stars. Must have been in the stars. Must be. Okay, now, so we have now ascendant in Leo for Prince Charles. His ascendant is in Leo. And also, I didn't go over the Kuiper Belt planets. I didn't go over those because his Pluto's also in Leo as far as I saw. But so that's very important. But I'm not bringing that into it right now. I'm bringing in this ascendant in Leo of Prince Charles. At 5 degrees, 25 minutes, he's kind and altruistic. They're kind, good-natured, kind, and altruistic people. Okay? Ambitious people, noble, impressive, gifted, and brilliant, very brilliant. So he has a very good astrology chart, to be honest with you, to ascend to the throne of being the king, to ascend to his kingship. when his day comes, he has so many qualities that are very good for a king. And this Ascendant in Leo, kind and altruistic and ambitious, noble, impressive, gifted, and brilliant. Prince Charles and Duchess of Camilla both have Leo Ascendant. So this is very good when Prince Charles ascends to the throne and into his kingship, and to have his wife be someone that also has a Leo Ascendant, which is also kind and altruistic, also ambitious, noble, impressive, gifted, and brilliant. You have two people like that with their ascendants in Leo, you've got something good for a monarch and a monarch's wife. I don't know. I don't know if she'll still be Duchess or she'll become Queen. I suppose I don't know the. She may become Queen at that time. I don't know. But if she does become Queen, she'll be a wonderful Queen because she has the ascendant in Leo. She has all that instinctive stellium in Cancer that makes her a Cancerian that can be a wonderful, kind, and intuitive mother to the world. So very perfect for a royal couple, for a king and a queen. Which, it's just amazing when you really look at it. It's very beautiful. It's very bright. You can just see it. You see the brilliance of it, the brightness of it. Now, the planetary aspects for Prince Charles: Moon opposing Mercury, and we have also Moon trine Mars, Moon trine Jupiter, Moon trine Saturn, Mercury opposing Moon, Mercury sextile Saturn, Mercury square Ascendant, Mars trine Moon, Jupiter trine Moon, Jupiter trine Saturn. We also have Saturn trine Moon, Saturn sextile Mercury, and Saturn trine Jupiter. We heard a lot of trines, and only just that Moon opposing Mercury, and Mercury opposed, that's the same thing, and the Mercury square Ascendant, and the rest were trines. So again, as we said earlier, a lot of trines balance out just a very few opposition and a square in the 7 ancient planets and the Ascendant. So I've really enjoyed going over these three charts in this royal love triangle that Princess Diana experienced in her life, and this very famous royal love triangle. And I really feel that this, when you look at their charts, it really brings the human aspect of it in a way that can really be understood, and all relationships can be seen as valuable and necessary and beautiful, and how they all really come together in a perfect way as divine providence would have it. And I think these three charts have an amazingly beautiful synchronicity about them. And I think these three personalities have added and are adding so much to our world. I've enjoyed so much sharing it with you. And this is an installment for the Welcome to Your Life Celebrity Astrology charts. And thank you very much. And we'll see you again with our next Celebrity Astrology chart. Thank you. See you again soon.